Hi, a really warm welcome. I'm Michael Beale, NLP trainer, NLP coach trainer, stakeholder center coach. What's important about time, energy, and focus? We set a direction, we've got a little bit of a plan. Probably the most important thing that we can consider to get there most efficiently and effectively is how, on a daily basis, we choose what to do with our time, our energy, and our focus. Now, what's really interesting about this is that actually we have a set amount of time. It's what we choose to do with it. Energy and focus, we can invest in things that improve our energy and focus, but that's another choice. So to start with, my recommendation is before we spend our time deciding what we do with our energy and time and focus, we need to do a number of things. We need to have set our direction. We need to have some simple milestones en route so we can measure progress, emphasis on simple. We need to have decided our very key focus areas. They are areas that if we spend our time on now, if we work on now, if we create some tasks, a very few tasks based on these, we will move forward. And some development areas. 1, 2, 3 skill capability areas that if we invest our time in, it will make the whole journey much easier. So they are prerequisites. So once we've done that, the next thing is to set priorities. And I like the rule of 3, which has come from Agile Project Management, and I'm probably sure other things. The end of 12 months, what are the 3 key outcomes we want to achieve? What at the end of a period, 3, 4 months, whatever you want as a period, what are the 3 outcomes to achieve? The end of the month, what are the 3 things we want to achieve? End of the week, what are the 3 things we want to achieve? End of today, what are the 3 things I want to achieve today that if I achieve them, I'll be able to say, yeah, I move forward. So priorities. The second thing is, when we're building up our day, what do we want to invest in to improve our energy and focus? Maybe a 20-minute exercise session, maybe a relaxation session, maybe doing a hobby. What are those things that we actually need to do that will increase our capacity for energy, our capacity for focus? Next one is daily routines. Let them take the strain. I have an exercise routine, a 20-minute exercise routine every morning. I like the idea of some very simple daily questions in the morning, checking that I've tuned into what my priorities for that day are. They may get dislodged, but at least that's a decision. But I started off knowing what I want to achieve during the day. A little bit of imagination in the day, so I've got a day's plan. And some review questions at the end of the day. So I've actually reviewed what I've done, what I've done. Next one is using our calendar. Let the calendar take the strain. And there's a couple of concepts: hotspots and time boxing. There are particular times in the day when we are at our most productive. There are different times in the day when we're likely to be most creative, and there are times in the day it's best we don't do anything other than relax and recuperate, because we will not make good decisions. So the first thing to do is to plot out what our hotspots are, because we can then choose to do the most appropriate thing in those hotspots. And the most appropriate things are normally things that are important, urgent, and difficult. Because if I don't do those when I've got the most energy, they won't get done. The idea of time boxing, there are certain activities that are important and make sure we give them enough time. There are certain activities actually which could drain our time, so we give them a limited amount of time, and whatever we've done in that time, providing it's reasonable, we go with it. It's just not worth spending more time on those. And curiously enough, in this discipline can make it much easier for us to manage our important things effectively too. Next one, have a key question stack. Develop a list of questions, because questions tend to lead our focus and they lead our behaviors. So it's useful having a set of questions that we can pull out just to check in. And even simple ones like, is doing this activity worth its energy? I might as well drop it, is useful. But there are whole heaps of very useful questions that we can use. The last one is designing our environment. It's very, the environment is all around us and we can forget its impact. And really, I consider there's two sets of things in our environment. The people we interact with. There are people that stimulate us, that keep us on track, that give us lots of bright ideas. And there are people that drain us. The object is to make sure we spend the right amount of time with both groups. The other thing in our environment we may not realize is that whether the room is tidy or not, whether we've got outside air or daylight bulbs, the pictures we have on the wall, whether we have some affirmations or reminders all, make it much easier for us to be creative, to keep on track. So there's 6 areas. Now, my view is if we try to do all this at once, we'll get totally lost. But if we put 1 or 2 of them in place, turn them into habits, then build another in place, we will start getting much better results. And there'll come a time when we're ready to take a clean sheet of paper and almost start from scratch. So we really truly are deciding what we do with our time, energy, and focus. Thank you very much for listening. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.